Hey there, everybody. I'm King 5 meteorologist Leah Pezzetti.
And I'm King 5 meteorologist Rich Marriott. And it is First Alert Weather Day today.
It is day 2 of 3. We are in the middle of kind of a mini heat wave, a 3-day focus point.
It's short and not as bad as it could be. And you think back to we set the baseline for that back in 2021. We had the 108 degree temperatures. Nothing near that. So barely hot.
And 2022 also setting records with 90-degree days. We're on the cusp of 90 degrees today. Models are backing off a little bit, but we're still keeping an eye on the heat today and tomorrow as well. So yesterday we kicked in that first alert weather mode. Today we're continuing it on. We'll let it continue through tomorrow because of this heat. So we're going to take the next half hour, unpack the heat, talk about everything that's heading our way the next couple of days.
It's been gradually inching its way up. In fact, we checked yesterday's high temperature out at SeaTac. We had 86 degrees. It's a little ways from that record of 92, fortunately, but I don't think anybody's going to complain about the fact that it didn't quite make it to the record. Generally, we got into the mid-80s. Tacoma was kind of interesting. For whatever reason, they only got up to 80 degrees, kind of a little outlier there, and mostly upper 70s and low 80s up in the northern counties overall. And beautiful morning out there around Puget Sound. We've had some really nice sunrise pictures. We have some middle and high clouds that are moving through, kind of filtering that sunshine up there. But overall, we're in really nice temperatures right now, mostly upper 60s and low 70s. In fact, this morning, a lot of places were having trouble getting down into the 60s. It took until a few small hours for places like SeaTac and such to get below 70 degrees. So really hard to cool the house off if you don't have the AC going out there. So definitely as we lean into another hot day, it becomes increasingly uncomfortable for folks. And that's one of the reasons we're in first alert weather. Out there at Westport, we did have fog and low clouds out there shrouding the camera most of the morning. Those have finally cleared off, but that marine air is still out there. They're only going to make it out of the 60s, into the 60s today. So that's the place to go if you really want to cool off.
Here's a look at the temperatures that we observed this morning. So yeah, you can see there that 66 degrees was the low at SeaTac. That is relatively warmer.
Not very low.
No, not very low at all. So yeah, like Rich mentioned, of course, that's the time of the night or the morning when you want to open up those windows and get some natural air conditioning, which is definitely tricky to do if we're not cooling below 66 degrees. So that is going to be the focus as we continue on forward with this hot weather. Is you'll want to find those ways to stay cool and cool off. Of course, jumping in a body of water is always a nice way to cool off. But one of the things to keep in mind is that our water takes a lot longer to warm up than our air does. So while our air can fluctuate within days and hours, water takes days, weeks, and in some cases months to warm up to a comfortable temperature. And of course, hypothermia, cold water shock, those are a risk this time of the year. We know a lot of people see the hot weather and want to dive in and stay cool, which you absolutely should. But of course, you want to do so safely. Puget Sound is sitting in the mid-50s right now. Our lakes are definitely warming up right now into the low 70s. Rivers and streams are still very brisk, though, thanks to that nice cold snow melt. 40s and 50s is where we currently are. So those rivers are definitely something that can be an issue. I know there was an issue in Monroe. There was a water rescue yesterday, and that's what we're seeing on these hot days. People turn to the water, and that's when we see that increase in those cold water rescues.
Yeah, we did. We actually had a fatality on Sunday because they suspect it's because of the cold water. And a thing to keep in mind, so the temperatures you're seeing in the lakes, those are taken by King County's buoy out there, which is mid-lake at the surface. That water is considerably warmer than about a meter below, where those temperatures can be substantially less. And so you want to keep that in mind. If you're out there in the water and you're kicking around, you're going to be in that other water as well. And so even though 70 sounds like a great temperature to be at, if you're in that for a long period of time, it actually can take a toll on your body and start to see hypothermia begin to set in.
Well, and the problem also is the cold water shock. Those are the people who, I wasn't planning on getting in the water.
Fall off the boat.
Fall off the boat. Maybe you're paddle boarding. We know those can be definitely rocky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So those are the people who say, I'm just going to be around the water. I'm not going to get in. Accident happens, they get in, their body goes into cold water shock, and that's when it can be really dangerous. So even if you're not planning on getting in the water, you still want to kind of think through, well, what would happen if I accidentally fell in? Do I have a life jacket handy? One of the things that water experts say, or boating experts say, with those paddle boards is make sure that you have those ankle ties.
Yeah, so you're not separated from your board.
Right. If you fall off, your board goes flying, you're in the middle of the body of water with nothing to keep you afloat. If you have your ankle connected, you know life-saving device will always be connected with you. So that's a really good thing to
You have something that you can grab and hang on to hopefully get yourself back out of the water. In fact, we take a look at with the series of things that go into cold water shock, that falling in the gas, inhaling the water, having trouble breathing, you have to get that under control. And then your muscles really might last a little bit longer in 70-degree water, but about 10 to 15 minutes you start to lose some of your muscle function. And then if you're in there more than an hour, then hypothermia starts to take its toll as well. So, and this happens, unfortunately, multiple times a year in Western Washington, simply because places like the Sound and the Pacific Ocean never get warm. They're always cold. Those 50s are about as warm as they get out there. So definitely something to keep in mind. But again, it's very attractive to get out there and be on the water.
Right. And it's such a balance, too, because you want to find ways to stay cool, but also stay safe.
That's true. And so these are things we've been saying. Wear a life jacket if you're on or near the water. Use the buddy system if you're going out kayaking or paddle boarding. Take somebody with you. And know the water safety rules around the things like carrying a whistle, et cetera, which are really, really important to safety out there on the water. So you can see the marine air, unfortunately, slipping away from us. But we do have some high clouds that have been moving through this morning, gave us a spectacular sunrise this morning. But overall, you can see that the high pressure just off the coast, that is going to be moving through pretty quickly, it looks like. So taking a quick look at that 7-day first alert weather today and tomorrow in the 80s to near 90 degrees down in the South Sound. It does look like today should be the warmest day, but we'll have to, it's a chance it could be almost as warm tomorrow. And then we see that cooling finally as we head towards Thursday, and chance of showers moving in later in the day. Showers and sun breaks for Friday and Saturday, mid-60s, and then as we head towards the end of the weekend, we're going to be looking for partly sunny, just a few mountain showers. Same again on Monday, and those highs inching back towards normal, which should be in the low 70s right now. But overall, we're going to be looking for that big change headed our way as we head towards Thursday. So
first alert weather days through Wednesday. Like we said, it started yesterday. We are going to continue it through tomorrow. So we're talking about near record heat. SeaTac's record for each of these 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is 92 degrees. So staying below 90 degrees means we're just shy of those records, but we're definitely near those records. Warm nights as well. Like we said, when we don't cool lower than 66 degrees, then it definitely is tricky to find relief at night. And then, of course, that elevated fire risk, which is something that we have already seen, especially in eastern Washington. We've been watching those fires pop up. So everybody, with the exception of the immediate coast, thanks to that marine air, are going to be under these alerts as we move forward. So those are the big headlines. We're going to take a really quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a closer look at temperatures and what is to come the next couple of days. Welcome back, everybody, to our first alert stream.
Good to have you back. It's a hot one headed our way for sure.
Yep, temperatures are once again going to be well into the 80s, and today we're going to introduce some low 90s into the equation. So we've issued first alert weather days because we want everybody to be prepared, be safe. You absolutely can be prepared and safe as long as you know that it's coming.
That's true.
Know what steps
Dress
to take.
accordingly.
Yes, dress accordingly, do what you need to do. So we're diving into the forecast. We are unpacking the heat advisory that has been issued. This is from the National Weather Service. This technically started on Monday, so Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday, depending on where you are for this alert because of the hot temperatures that are on the way. So
we were left speechless by that very thought.
We're speechless. Oh, Rich.
not big fans of heat here, but I talk about the fact that people are here for the World Cup from hotter climates like Dallas or something, and they're laughing at us. What? It's 80? It's not even barely 90? What's the problem?
Yes. Well, but your body gets acclimated, and us in the Northwest, if you don't experience temperatures beyond 90 degrees often, then it is going to shock your body when you do. So that is the beautiful thing about human bodies. It's
Well, and that's the point of the heat advisories is the Weather Service do them. They adjust them for different parts of the country based on what that part of the country is prepared for. And one of the things, if you are a visitor, which you may not know, is a good portion of Puget Sound does not have air conditioning.
Yep.
Because we haven't really needed it in the past.
Right.
But increasingly, the turn of the century, it was around 11% had air conditioning. Now it's more than 50%.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Rich.
it's coming up pretty quickly because we do have these 90-degree days in June.
And new builds, when people are building new homes,
Yes.
that's one of the things that I guess we need to add air conditioning, which we never have in the past.
Something people definitely look for, that's for sure. So but good news, the UV index, which has been in the very high range the last few days, only in the high range today. So
Great.
that's better. Maybe a little less sunscreen.
Incredible. I've gotten my first little sunburns of the year. When you go outside and oh shoot, I forgot the sunscreen.
Yes.
So don't be like me. Put it in your car. Keep it with you because yes, that sun, that bright orb in the sky can absolutely.
And
burn.
even if you very tannable like me, after many years, and get older, you wish you'd worn more sun. Actually, my problem was it wasn't around when I was growing up. So there you go. But
yep.
Surviving
Take lessons
fine.
from us, everybody. Don't forget your sunscreen.
Definitely surviving fine. But it's been a really interesting time with the models because they've been having trouble deciding exactly when and how strong a marine push we're going to get. We know it's generally going to start late tonight and push on in. You can see there is some marine air down there off the Oregon coast. But it's going to make it as far in as southwestern Washington, but it may take until late tomorrow and tomorrow night to actually penetrate into Puget Sound and finally break this heat spell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's one of the things we'll definitely rely on, especially in the overnight hours. We tend to see that building a little bit stronger. So that can offer sweet relief for us. We also, speaking of sweet relief, there's this thing. It falls from the sky.
Yes. What is that?
It's called rain, everybody.
Oh, I
rain.
thought it was birds sweating.
No, not birds sweating.
There you go.
It's not Mother Nature crying. It's rain. We need it, and especially
anything.
Yeah, anything helps this time of the year. It has been an exceptionally dry, really season, winter, spring, all of it combined. We did get an incredible amount of rain at the beginning of June, if you remember those.
Yeah, we got that in one fell swoop. We got a whole lot.
Yes.
Not really well distributed through the month.
Right, and so that's the thing is we had a lot at once that fell at the beginning of the month, but we really haven't seen anything for a majority of the month of June, and that is expected to change as we head into this weekend. So taking a look at the future cast as we head into Tuesday morning, there's that little bit of cloud cover that we see out there. A couple sprinkles are possible for the mountains, but most people will stay dry into the next couple of days. Same thing into Wednesday, little bit of precipitation is introduced. Really, it would just stay over our higher elevations. What that means for us in the lowlands is we'll look to the east over the Cascades and see some big towering cumulonimbus clouds, and that is probably about it. But you can see off east of Washington into Idaho, into Montana, they'll get a little bit of that rain, which is a welcome sight. Our next best chance for rain is from the Pacific. So we have a low that's dropping down from the Gulf of Alaska. This is Thursday evening, what you're seeing here, 5 p.m., starting to sneak in along the coast. So depending on where you are, you could see some showers on Thursday, but really most of us, it's going to be arriving on Friday. Thursday is a transition day though, so we'll watch some clouds moving in around the sound, increasing throughout the day thanks to that disturbance that's moving in. Then it arrives on Friday. So this is Friday evening, and this is, gosh, a welcome sight. It's Washington, Western and Eastern. It's down into Oregon as well. Rain is finally back in the forecast.
And some cool air with it as well.
Yes.
After being in the 80s and 90s, we're going to see those temperatures dropping back into the mid-60s when this all moves onshore. And we're going to be seeing that kind of stick with us, it looks like, as we head towards the weekend itself. We'll see those showers continue into Saturday. Later Friday into early Saturday, we might see them focus in a little bit of a convergence zone, but then just about anywhere on Saturday you might see showers around. And then as we head into Sunday, we should see things begin to dry out and kind of focus the showers back up into the mountains. So
and this is, I'll just say this, Rich,
Yep.
This is a little personal aside. As someone who is planning a wedding right now, I know that there are a lot of people who pick weekends based off of, we think there's a low probability of rain, and we're getting into that season where there's a lower probability of rain, and I feel bad for anyone planning Friday and Saturday events.
But that's way it's attracted to that sort of thing. It
Yep.
really is. Yeah, that changes your attitude towards it. But
It does.
The good news is I don't think that, with the exception of maybe Friday, I mean, it does look like, unless you're into the convergence zone later on Friday into early Saturday, it shouldn't be a real problem. Maybe kind of scattered around on Saturday. But that's a good thing about showers, is they're hit or miss.
Yep.
So you have to hope that it will miss you if you have an outdoor wedding.
Absolutely. Or maybe it rains for a little bit, but then it'll clear a little bit later. I had a friend whose wedding was like that. Rained a little bit, and then it cleared, and then we all kind of went outside, and it was totally fine.
Yes.
And you know, it's a welcome sight right now. I don't hear anybody complaining about this rain because we definitely need it. This is a thing that will help us kind of long term. Everything's really dry right now. So any bit of rain we get helps dampen things out just a little bit. Is it going to save us necessarily? No, but it's a step in the right direction. So definitely something that we'll welcome. Okay, continuing on with the Futurecast, getting you into early this upcoming week. Looks like we're continuing on with a little bit of an unsettled pattern, but that, of course, is still a week out, so we'll fine-tune that.
That looks like we might be brushed by stuff kind of going by us, but probably the most interesting thing is going to be for the world viewers who are watching the World Cup from Seattle. I mean, all the World Cup days so far, as it is going to be tomorrow, are sunny and warm.
Yeah.
Same thing tomorrow. It's going to be close to 80 at the start. We'll see it probably low to mid 80s by the end of it. Friday, though, Friday night, for one, it's an 8 p.m. start. Totally different.
Absolutely. It's so interesting watching all these people coming to Washington saying, oh my gosh, it's beautiful here. And I think we all kind of go, yeah, it is this time of the year. But yeah, we're going to return to our regularly scheduled programming for Friday's game. So depending on which game you're heading out for, which match, I've been learning, Rich, match
I'm making that change myself for sure. But if you are headed out to the game tomorrow, just FYI, you're going to be looking for, again, temperatures probably in the low to mid 70s. You're getting through security, and it started the game near 80, and then you see towards the end of the game, mostly into the mid 80s.
And of course, we know a lot of people are going to be drinking a lot of water probably as they're watching sporting events. So please just remind yourself, if you're drinking anything other than water, maybe mix some water in there. Stay hydrated.
Variety is good.
Variety is good. It's good to stay healthy. We want everybody to stay healthy and stay safe as we head into this heat that is here this afternoon and into tomorrow as well. Once again, first solar weather days through tomorrow. Then we see that pattern shift of rain heading into the weekend. We're going to take one more quick break, but when we come back, we'll continue to talk about the big picture look, and we're going to talk about some wildfire danger as well.
Oh, welcome back. Another hot forecast for today with lots of heat headed our way.
Oh, yeah. Temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. But if you remember, we did hit the low 90s last week? That was last week.
Monday. A week ago, this past Monday.
A week ago. That was record-breaking. It was the first time we hit 90 degrees of this calendar year. It set a daily record. We saw daily records across the board that were shattered.
Right.
We're not quite there this time around. First of all, our daily record for today is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Daily record for today is 92 at SeaTac, and tomorrow as well. Don't expect us to hit 92, thank goodness.
Yes. Which we're very happy about.
Yes, we're glad to hear that, but we are definitely going to be on the warm side. So let's take a look at our temperatures as we head into this afternoon. Here's a look at our highs for today.
Well, up there in the northwest interior, you can see, if you're near the water, that's everything. You see those temperatures in the 70s. As soon as you start moving inland, places like Marble Mount, you see those temperatures up to near 90 degrees. So pretty toasty altogether. And then dropping down into Snohomish County, again, if you're near the water, not too bad. Mid 70s to near 80 degrees there on Whidbey Island. And as you move inland, places like Gold Bar and such, push into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees.
Yeah, especially as you get into the foothills. Those will be some of the warmer spots. Heading down into King County, same trend there, mostly into the upper 80s. A few spots could tap 90 degrees. This is going to be, especially down into South King County, that industrial corridor. Those will be some of the spots that have the better chance of getting close to and hitting 90 degrees. Kitsap County, you're not escaping the heat either. You're also looking at 80s into the upper 80s in some of the warmer spots. Bremerton looking at 87. Down into Pierce and Thurston counties, this is where we have the best chance at tapping the 90-degree threshold. Really, everybody down in our South counties are going to see the potential to surpass 90 degrees. Hopefully not by too much, but definitely going to be a warm day down around South Sound today. So good places. If you're down there, you'll want to find ways to stay cool.
And if you're headed out towards southwestern Washington, well, you got to keep going towards the coast till it cools off pretty much. You can see we've got some 90-degree readings over the inland areas right down that I-5 corridor. But as you get over there, even as close as Raymond, South Bend area, you're still in the mid 80s, but you get a little farther to the west, you get into that marine air, and those temperatures dropping back into the mid to upper 60s, which sounds very attractive right now.
That sounds lovely.
And moving on up the coast, you can see those temperatures a little bit warmer, but right along the coastal beaches in good shape, upper 60s and low 70s, moving just a little bit there. You can see those temperatures jump up into the mid to even some upper 80s once you get up that where that trailhead is for the whole rainforest.
Oh, man. Go to the rainforest today.
Yes.
Except it's still
a little
warm.
steamy.
Still a little, yeah, it'll be like a sauna over there. Speaking of saunas, Eastern Washington.
Dry sauna.
Yeah, dry sauna. There we go. Dry heat there. That is, it's going to be a toasty day over in Eastern Washington. 90s, pretty widespread, 80s into the 90s for a good chunk of the eastern part of our state. And of course, this is where fire risk is highest. It's dry over there. Humidity will be in the teens in the worst case scenarios today. So definitely a dry day off to the east. And that's really where we're going to keep an eye on fire risk. And speaking of fire risk, my goodness, we're talking about it.
Yeah, in fact, there's a whole list of places over there that have very active fires that are going on. Some of them have been burning for a while. Right now, we're kind of neutral in terms of the situation. It's warm and dry, nothing too extreme at this point to start the week, but we do still have a lot of fires that are continuing to burn. We're going to start to heat up a little bit midweek, and that's not going to last very long. We will see the cooling from the west side make it over there. The problem is that cooling is associated with onshore winds on the west side, which then spill over the Cascade Crest, go down the east slopes of the Cascades and spread out into eastern Washington. So potentially we could see a lot of gusty winds later in the week, which for existing fires may cause them to spread. So we'll be keeping close watch on that.
Oh, man. And speaking of fire potential, this is a look at the National Interagency Fire Center outlook for July and August. The left side of your screen there is July. The right side is August. And those colors, those regions that have red are going to be the highest risk for fire. This is a forecast they put out given the what's on the ground, what's already fallen, precipitation, how dry it's been, and then also what we expect moving forward. You can see that into July, which is here in a week. That's wild. We are going to see an increased risk for fire pretty much for all of Washington. It's really just kind of western Oregon and southwest Washington that's escaping that worst of it. But then as we get into August, everybody in the northwest is going to be under that high fire risk. And this is something that is going to continue into the end of summer, into September, really until we get that good fall rain, which of course we're heading into, or we're in already, an El Nino pattern right now. So that is something that we'll continue to keep an eye on.
Well, people are going to be concerned about things like smoke and such too, and that depends on which way the wind's blowing.
And this right here is what you're looking at. It's from the USDA. It's our snow water equivalent. So this is basically the percent of where we should be for our snowpack and that kind of reservoir.
What's left in our bank account?
Right. Our bank account. This is what gets our savings that gets us into the end of the season. And you can see that we're at 0% for those southern Cascades and then into the single digits farther up to the north. So
shall we check that extended one last time?
Let's head to the extended forecast really quickly.
Another hot day today, a little less hot tomorrow. First alert weather days both days.
And we're keeping an eye on that heat. We want everybody to find ways to stay cool. Today's the hottest day. Tomorrow's not close behind.
May not notice the difference.
Yeah, you may not notice the difference. And then, of course, those rain chances moving in Friday into Saturday, which will bring some nice, fresh air. So very thankful for that.